Here are 3 things that took me from being a broke college student or a broke high school student to making $30,000 a month in 10 months. No prior experience before that, hard work, dedication, and laser focus on one thing. And we're going to break down those 3 things in this video. So let's get into it. And by the way, I'm not just going to be very generic with this. I'm not going to go laser focus, you need to focus. That's common. Everybody knows that, right? I'm talking about the little intricacies that I genuinely believe really help me get ahead. The little things that nobody really talks about. And let's get straight into number 1, which is planning the day before what I'm going to do for the next day. What I used to do was I'd wake up early and I would sit there for the first hour and plan out my day. And every time I looked at a task, it was super generic, like record a YouTube video. Well, what am I recording a YouTube video on? I'd sit there and for 30 to 45 minutes thinking about what I'm going to make a YouTube video on before I actually recorded it. So I was just delaying the amount of time to action, therefore making me less money because I value my time. I've calculated it and I believe my time at the minute is worth around $100 to $200 an hour. If I don't have that leverage on my time, then it's not worth it. Something like this obviously is irreplaceable because it's me. It's me growing my personal brand. It's me providing value. My goal here is to help other people document my journey and just, be able to look back on this and go, wow, okay, I was an idiot back then, but at least I know now. That was all a part of the process, right? So make sure you're planning the day before. Have a strict cut-off time. So if you go to bed at 11, all technology goes off at 10. The only thing you can open up is your to-do list. And you plan out 3 things that you're going to do in the morning that are priority. These 3 things are important, not urgent tasks. I want to emphasize enough, they are important, but they aren't urgent. An example of an urgent and important task would be a client ad's got shut down and you need to get them back up. You need to request a review. An example of an important, not urgent task would be creating a 5-year, a 1-year, and a 1-month vision for your life. It's very important, but it's not urgent. So it's very easy to just push that aside day after day after day after day after day until it never gets done, and then it just gets deleted off the checklist. You need to set aside an hour in the morning to attack those 3 tasks that are important but not urgent. Whether it's creating a vision board, whether it's creating a sales course, whether it's testing out some new B2B ads for your agency. They're not urgent, they don't need to be done now, but they should be done as soon as possible. Success loves speed. You need to be fast. And I'm not saying completely rush everything, just throw some ads up with the hope that they work and never look at them again. Just be fast, be proactive at what you're doing, and the best way to do that is to plan what you do for the next day, the day before. Every single task that you've got in mind, just completely do a brain dump at the end of the night. Write it all out. If you feel overwhelmed, that's okay, that's normal. I get that all the time too. Pour all of your thoughts and the things that you need to do on a board and arrange them from priority to least priority, with the first 3 being important but not urgent tasks that are going to move the needle forward. The second thing I did to start making more money was value my time. What I want you to do right now is calculate how much your time is worth on an hourly basis. If it's something really low at the minute, that's okay. And how you do this is you go, how many hours are in a year? Within a year, there's 8,760 hours. So let's say, for example, you work 48 weeks in the year. What that means is if we do 40 times 48, which is how many weeks in that year, what we get is you'll be working 1,920 hours in that year as a whole, on average. Of course, it'd probably be a little bit less than that, but let's talk generically here. What you're then going to do is divide the amount you make in a year by how many hours you work in that year. So for example, if you make $100,000 a year and you divide that by 1,920, let's say you're working 40 hours a week, your time would be worth £52 an hour. So then you've just got to ask yourself, is the task that you're doing now worth a minimum of £52 an hour? And again, this is just a baseline. For me, I always like to double or triple this number because I value my time. And I know over time, the things that are going to move the needle and build the skills are going to compound. So if somebody messages me and says, do you want to do an interview with me? Or do you want to jump on a YouTube channel? I just ask myself, is that worth £200 to £300 of my time? Probably not. Is it going to build my personal brand? If they have a small following, probably not. Yes, it's selfish, but you have to be. Another example of this is, I have never cleaned my car, ever. I've never done it. I always pay somebody else to do it. I can pay them £15 every 2 weeks to clean my car. And it takes about 45 minutes to an hour. So the leverage on that for me is I value my time more than I do my money. So it's a no-brainer for me to invest that to save that hour that I can spend working on the business. And another prime example of this would be ordering meal prep. Now again, this was always something that I wanted to do, I just couldn't afford it, but now I can, which is a really great thing. And there's always easy ways to do this on a budget. For example, what I do is I order 30 protein shakes at the start of the month. I have one in the morning. Straight after I get back from the gym, I'll go to the shop, I'll get a pack of chicken, a pack of rice. Anybody can do that. It costs me about $4 or $5, £4 to £5, right? I put the rice in the microwave, put some sweet chili sauce on. I've got a £5 meal there that's super nutritious. Finally, for dinner, I just order Prep Kitchen, which is a meal prep service that delivers nutritional meals directly to my door. So I don't need to spend time cooking, cleaning up, doing the dishes. All of that is already done because I order meal prep and I value my time. It takes me 15 minutes to eat each meal. The protein shake's done while I'm working, 15 minutes to eat chicken and rice, 15 minutes to eat my dinner, 3 minutes to cook it. So just to recap over those first two things, plan your days ahead the day before. And the second thing is start to value your time. Start asking yourself, how can I save time by spending money? And of course, this isn't something you can do right out the gate. You're gonna have to make some money first. But that is what really catapulted the amount of money I could make. So the only focus for me was the business and exercise and fitness. The rest, I don't care about it. Except for relationships, of course. That's another thing. They're the three things. Relationships, financial, and fitness and health. That's it. If I get asked if I want to go out on the weekend, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be a no, because that is not worth my time and it's not moving the needle forward in those 3 categories of my life. And number 3 would be skill stacking and not being scared to spend money. I think a lot of people think too short term. Oh, SMMA is going to die out soon. Let me just stack some cash so I can save it and then I can buy a Rolex and I can look rich. The rich people know the people who are trying to look rich. Obviously from the service level, people that don't make much money, see was like, wow, we can afford these great things. But the people that are actually up the top, they understand the people that are hustling and the people that are just doing it for social validation and are just spending money on fancy clothes. For me, all my money either goes back into the business, reinvesting, testing new things, into new equipment for recording, softwares, testing other sorts of systems, or into coaching. I'm in Agency Lab and I also pay a lot of people in similar niches to me to jump on coaching calls so I can pick their brain on problems I'm facing. Success loves speed. I'd way rather pay $1,000 for an hour of someone's time who knows the problems I'm facing, who solved them already, and who they had to figure that out and it took them 6 to 12 months to figure out, and then me to figure it out in a week rather than have to go through that testing phase. Again, it reverts back to I value my time more than I do my money, so it's a no-brainer for me to invest in things like that. That's going to round off the video. They're the 3 things. If you get some value out of this, let me know, and that's it.